Hey YouTube, Forever Chia here again with another video. I know I look crazy. This isn't my usual look. Well, I did not know my laptop was being shown. But I just want to do my final declutter. Not even my final declutter of the year, but another major declutter, at least with my beauty products. So I've already decluttered all my makeup. The only thing I did not declutter were my eyeshadow palettes. And if y'all have seen my eyeshadow palette collection, you see that I have a lot of palettes. But your girl only got one face. Okay, so let's be realistic. Let's only keep the things that I know for certain that I'm going to use. And the rest of it, I'm going to just let it go. So it's sad to say, it's sad to see them go, but that's what I want to do. So any palettes that I have that I'm ready to get rid of, I'm going to either sell them or give them to friends. And yeah, the ones that I really, really love are the ones that I'm going to keep. So y'all stay tuned and watch this declutter with me. I'm hoping to decrease my eyeshadow palettes by at least half. So I have about 30. If I can get it down to 15 or already at 10, I'll be ecstatic. So let's get right into it. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so here are all my palettes. Here I have 25, 26-ish palettes. I think that's all of them from what I can see. I don't think I'm missing any of my eyeshadow palettes. So here are all of them. And we're going to go by them, sort through them one by one and see the ones I want to keep. The ones I do not want to keep, I'm going to be putting them in this box and letting my friends and family sort through it, as well as selling the ones that are still in tip-top condition. Okay, so I'm going to start from this side and move my way right. So the Festival palette by Profusion. I'm definitely keeping this palette because it has every color that I need in here. As far as, like, let's say I'm doing someone's makeup and they want some color, I know I definitely have the color they need inside of this palette. So for that reason mainly, I'm going to keep this. I plan on doing like some prom makeup and stuff for my sister and her friends, so I think this will be nice to keep. So I'm going to put this into this clear container for all the palettes I'm going to keep. Texture by T. Y'all have seen these palettes. I don't know. I think I might keep one of the Texture by T palettes. I don't know. This one's really, really pretty. I don't know. I never reach for it. I never use it. But I just love the variations of purples. For now, I think I'm going to keep it. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it for now. I don't have this variation of purples in any other palette, so I'm going to keep this one for now. Oops. Sorry about that. The whole thing is broken. I feel like I can fix that up. Let's see. Whatever. I'll fix it later. This is the Morphe 350. Ooh, and I'm missing a this one shifted out of place. Anyway, this is the Morphe 350. I feel like I've outgrown this palette, so she can be rehomed, decluttered from my collection. Yeah, I don't use it anymore, so that one can go. Same thing with this one, the Morphe 35U. Nice colorful palette, but since I'm keeping the Festival palette by Profusion, I don't really have a need for this. All the shadows in here are shimmers. The quality is amazing. I just don't use it, so it'd be you know, better fitting for me to find this another home. Another Texture by T Pallets. Their palettes are so good and so pretty. Look at this. I just don't know. This one has a whole bunch of shimmers and one row of mattes. So for that case, I don't think I'm going to keep it because I don't really use this many shimmers. So I'll declutter this one. Sadly. So, such a beautiful palette. This BH Cosmetics 42 Pan Eyeshadow Palette is like all mattes, but I've never used it. I don't plan on using it, so I might as well go ahead and declutter it. This is my Revolution eyeshadow palette in Neutrals 2. I love this eyeshadow palette, and I also use it as a blush, so I'm definitely keeping this palette. Oops. I almost put it in the wrong pile. Okay. Next we have the Velvet Rose palette by Makeup Revolution. This one is nice, but it's a complete dupe for the ABH Soft Glam palette, and I have that palette, so I don't really need this one, so I'm going to declutter it. This is the Balms Meet Matte Adore. This is a nice palette, but I haven't even swatched anything in it. It's all mattes. Really nice concept, really cute, but honestly it's just being wasteful if I were just to keep this in my collection any longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. The e.l.f. Opposites Attract. I really like this eyeshadow palette. I really do. The quality is amazing. The shades are beautiful, but I just don't reach for it. And it also reminds me a lot of my Urban Decay Born to Run. So I think I'm going to declutter it. It's just so, look at it, it's so nice. I love the purples. That's really what caught me, the purples and that foresty green. But I feel like I have those shades in other palettes, so this one's hard. I think I'm going to declutter it though. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and just declutter it. Next is the ABH Modern Renaissance. This is a cult fave. Everyone loves this palette, but I also think I'm going to declutter it. Unfortunately, it's really nice. Like, there's nothing wrong with pigments or anything. I just don't reach for it as much, and I feel like it's because I have the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette that I love so much, and to me it's like a dupe. So I reach for that one more than I reach for this one. And I know there are so many people who love this palette and so many people who want to get their hands on it. So I think I'm just going to resell this one online. But yes, I am indeed decluttering the ABH Modern Renaissance palette. Goodbye. Y'all, decluttering hurts. Let me just bring this. It's already heavy. This is my declutter box so far. It hurts. Just leave it to the side. So next we have the Morphe 9G 9-pan eyeshadow palette. I literally did not use this palette at all. I mainly bought it for one shade. Here it is. I bought it for this shade because it reminded me of Rihanna's Trophy Wife. But overall, I don't reach for it at all, sadly. It's such a cute palette. The shade names are amazing. It performs very well. I just don't reach for it. And I don't even do my eyeshadow every day, so it's honestly pointless for me to have this many palettes. I just went on a palette spree last year and just was going crazy. But now I see exactly what I need and what I don't, and I don't need this one in my collection, so she's gonna find a new home. Put her back in her box. Wow, this is really sad. It's mainly sad because I was so ecstatic to get these eyeshadow palettes, but now I look at them, I'm just like, ugh, it's alright. So, yeah. Now we have the Morphe 25A, 25B palettes. These perform amazingly, but I just don't reach for them at all. So I'm going to declutter these as well. Wow. It's crazy. Okay. So I love this palette. This is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. Definitely keeping this one. So beautiful. It's like an all-in-one palette. That's what I love the most about it. But as you can see, it kind of reminds me, or it probably reminds you as well, of the e.l.f. Opposites Attract. We have our warmer side here and we have our cooler side here. So I don't feel like I'm missing out too much by decluttering that palette. But I do love this palette, so I'm definitely going to keep her in my collection. Soft Glam palette by ABH. Definitely going to declutter. Psych! I love this palette. I would never declutter this palette. Let me show her to y'all. She is loved. She's been used. I love this palette, so now I'm definitely keeping her in my collection. I recently just talked about this one. This is the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette that I love so much. It looks so much like the Modern Renaissance palette, like so much. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping this one and definitely going to declutter the Modern Renaissance. I love this palette so much. The quality of these shadows is amazing. Like one swipe and I'm good to go on my eye. Love this palette, definitely keeping her. Another one of my favorites, definitely keeping this one. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette. Look at that blue. That's what keeps me with this palette for the most part. All the other shades are amazing as well, but that blue is just impeccable. So I love this palette altogether. I love the concept. I love the execution of it. It's just amazing. Love the Berries and Cream palette. Definitely keeping this in my collection. The Nubian by Juvia's Place. I love this palette. Definitely going to keep it. I especially love this one when I'm traveling. She's been used and abused, but I love this palette, so I'm definitely going to keep it. Very simple, all my neutral, everyday shades I can find in this palette. So I'm definitely going to keep it. And I definitely love the Juvia's Place formula. So for that reason, and they can be that reason alone, I'm definitely going to keep this eyeshadow palette. I was actually kind of on the fence of this palette. Like, I love this palette so much, but I don't use it that much. This is the Juvia's Place Masquerade Mini, but it's just so beautiful. I have to use this one more, and if I don't use it within the next couple of months, then I might sadly have to declutter it, but the shades are just beautiful. The performance is amazing. And yeah, you can't go wrong with the palette. It just depends on if this is what you're looking for or not. But when you have as many palettes as I do, it's hard to like go through all of them. So For now, yes, I will be keeping this palette. Next we have Juvia's Place Nubian 2. Definitely keeping this one. I don't know what's wrong with mine. Like, I don't know. It always sticks weirdly, like with the magnets and stuff. But anyway, definitely keeping this palette. Again, well loved. I love the blue. I love that green right here. And I love the orange shade right up there. So definitely keeping this palette. I love how big the pans are in this palette. And I just can't go wrong with this. So I'm still going to keep this in my collection. Dose of Colors Frinkation palette by Desi and Katie. This palette is a cult fave, including one of my favorites. I used this palette this past year for Thanksgiving, but I don't know, like some of my palettes, I just see them as just too pretty to use, and I feel like that's what I did with this palette. Yet I know there's so many people who love this palette, so I'm not using it. I'm not using it nearly as much as I know somebody else would. So I'm going to actually resell this palette. It's so beautiful and it's so hard to say goodbye. But honestly, like when I look at it, I have doubts about it at times. So, and it's not the quality or anything like that. It's just from my personal preference. I don't like to be wasteful, and I don't want to just hold on to this because I think it's pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter it and resell it. Oh, this hurts. This hurts. Another declutter. This was my first ever eyeshadow palette, y'all. This is from the Sephora collection. Honestly, I don't even remember how I got this. I know I didn't buy it at Sephora. I probably won this in a Tumblr giveaway. That's how old it probably is. I should throw it out. I might throw it out. Or see if somebody else wants it. But I don't know. It's just, it's very sentimental. But I'm not trying to like think about sentiment when it comes to saving my things. Well, when it comes to these makeup products. So yeah, I think I'm just go ahead and declutter it. Oh, I almost forgot. So I have the Jaclyn palette from ABH. It's pretty new. I don't feel like opening the box. Definitely gonna keep this one. It's so beautiful. I wish it showed the shades like right here on the back, but it doesn't. That's weird because, yeah, because this one does. It doesn't show the shades on the back, but I'll insert a photo of the shades in here. It's very beautiful. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping these. These are the only two ABH palettes I'm gonna keep. I'm really debating on getting the Amrezy palette, but I told myself that this year I'm not gonna buy any more eyeshadow palettes. So I might just have to miss out on that one, or before I get any new eyeshadow palettes, I have to declutter one. I just don't want my I just don't want to keep storing so many palettes. So I'm gonna just keep these two ABH palettes for now. Last but not least is my Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. Here are all the shades on the back. I just love this palette. I cannot declutter it. I don't even use this one as much, but I still get good use out of it. And I feel like it's just a great palette if I'm doing any type of look, daytime, nighttime, grungy, bright. Like it has it all in it. So this is a great all-in-one palette. I just hate the size of it. It's kind of large, but other than that, I love this palette, so I'm definitely going to keep it. And that's it for my palettes. So now I'm going to see how many palettes I decide to keep. Okay, so I decided to keep 12 palettes. That's honestly not bad compared to what I started out with. And, you know, who knows, I might end up decluttering a few more. I feel like in the long run, I might go back and declutter my Texture by T palette, but for now, I'm keeping it in my collection. And yeah, so I'm really happy with what I have right now. Let me just go ahead and put these back in the box, and I'm going to stack them back the way I usually have them in my collection. So yeah, I'm keeping 12 palettes, and that means I'm getting rid of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can't really see them all, but I am in total decluttering 13 eyeshadow palettes. So I'm keeping 12 and I'm decluttering 13. So I was able to cut my collection down a little bit more than half. So I'm so happy and proud of myself about that. These palettes definitely, some of them will definitely be missed, and some of them I just can just go. A lot of these just need new homes. And clearly, I'm not giving them as much love as they deserve. So they can go, especially these two. Like, I know I could definitely find better homes for these two palettes. So, goodbye to these palettes. And I'm going to take my time and figure out which ones I would like to give to friends and which ones I prefer to sell online. But yeah, we made a huge dent in my collection. Having 12 palettes is a lot more bearable for me than having all 25. Yes, all 25. So I'm gonna work from here, keep these eyeshadow palettes, and not think to buy any new ones until I figure out which other ones of these I would like to declutter. So yeah, that was really hard for me to let go of some of the palettes that once brought me joy, but honestly, they're not bringing me much joy right now. There are other people who I know would like be so happy to have them, and for them to just be met in my collection, it's just like being wasteful. So yeah, I'm just so excited for what I have, and just to know that everything I have in my collection just brings me a lot of happiness. So yeah, I'm definitely excited, and I can't wait to just explore with my brand new upgraded collection. So thank y'all so much for watching this video, and I'll catch y'all in my next one. Peace.